Good morning, this is Around the House with Kay and Tom. I am going to this morning make some squash zucchini bites, and they're to be used like an appetizer. They're really neat to have. So what we're going to do a squash and we do a zucchini. We're going to have butter, we have flour, 1 cup plus 2 tablespoonfuls of flour, 2 tablespoonfuls of butter, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoonsful of sugar, and 2 teaspoonsful just a grated onion. So let's get started. The first thing I'll do is we're going to grate the zucchini and the squash. I forgot. Okay, it says to use the coarse side of your grater. So the coarse side is the ones with the big holes, not the slotted holes, but the big holes. So what we're going to do, we're going to use, let's get this off of here. I have washed my zucchini and squash. And make sure you dry this because it says that you want all of the moisture out of your mixture when you get through. So I found out the best way to do it is just go ahead and grate it. Dry it. I always cut off the 2 ends. So what we'll do, we'll just grate up this squash. And as you can see, it's not the real fine, but it's finer than if you chopped it. And it says 2 cups, so what we're going to do is now we're going to take this zucchini. We're just going to mix it right on in here. This is really a good little recipe to have if you made like a casserole or something and you had a couple of squash or zucchini left over. I'm going to stop right there and just see how much I've got. It says 2 cups, so let's just see what we've got. Okay, let's measure and see what we've got here. I can tell you that I am not as good as Tom about using some of his stuff like this. But it is a handy dandy stuff to have. It says 2 cups. You know what? I think I'll just do just a little bit more. There, should do it. And we'll put this in this bowl. Yeah, there we go. Now we have 2 cups of the zucchini and squash chopped up. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to do the onion, which is, all it says is 2 teaspoonsful of grated onion. Now, we always like onions, so I don't think if you do a little bit more than 2 teaspoons, it will make a difference. So what we'll do is we'll just grate up a little onion. I know I had this onion for you to see, but I looked in the refrigerator and I've got one that I've already used part of. So instead of getting that one cut up, I'm just going to use what I've got. And it said 2 teaspoonfuls of onions. Well, I've actually picked up the tablespoon, so let's see. We'll say that's 1 teaspoon. I got just a little bit over 2 teaspoons full of onions. We got that ready. Okay, now that I've got the zucchini and squash cut up using the coarse side of the grater, I have my onions ready to roll and my sugar and my flour. It says to mix all ingredients, combine all the ingredients. Whoops. So we're going to combine these ingredients. So we've got the squash and the zucchini. And then we've got the onions. Okay. And the sugar. Seems strange putting sugar, but hey, we shall just. Well, it looks pretty. And salt and pepper to your taste. I do not cook with much salt at any time, but since it says salt and taste, we're just going to put a little bit in there so maybe give it a little bit more flavor. It says to let it stand for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to make sure we mash out all of the liquid that we can mash out. And then we're going to add the eggs and the flour and mix well. So we'll let this set just for a few minutes. 10 minutes it says. I'll be back. I am sure other people has other way of mashing out all the liquid that you can. And you can let me know. But what I did is I just took some paper towels and put the zucchini and onions and squash on paper towels, and I'm mashing out there. And believe it or not, it is more liquid than you thought would have been in there. That is, if I can find where I started from. Here we go. I'm going to do this one more time just to make sure if I can get all of the liquids. It is a lot more in there than I would have been thought, considering that I washed my squash and my zucchini before I started and dried them off real good, and it still has quite an abundance of liquid in there. Now we're going to add the flour and the eggs and mix it up. Just make sure you don't get any of your paper towel in there. That does look a lot drier. So now we're going to add the eggs. Seems like I just took out the liquid. Now I'm putting more liquid in there. That's 2 eggs that I beat up real well. And we're going to add the flour. That's 2 cups of flour. You know, I told you wrong. That's 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of flour in with the 2 cups of zucchini and squash. And it's all mixed together. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to go over here and we are going to melt 2 tablespoons full of butter, and we're going to, when the butter gets hot, we're going to put us in there and let it just fry right up, and then you'll have your little bites, squash and zucchini bites. Let's go fry. Okay, my butter has got hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a spoonful of our mixture and we're going to put it in the butter. You know, I'm going to let the butter get just a little bit hotter because it should have started sizzling, but it didn't sizzle like I wanted it to sizzle. So we'll just give it just one more second. Okay, I think my butter is now got good and hot. And if you wanted these in little bitty round balls, you could use like your melon, like if you were going to cut up a cantaloupe and you wanted melon balls, or you could do a little ball of that. Okay, now I have dropped the zucchini and squash mixture into my hot butter, and I've turned them over one time, and we will let them cook just for a few seconds. Okay, now these looks done. I put them over here on a plate. I'll show them to you in just a second, but I'm putting them in a plate. Oh, that one got really crispy. And while these were cooking, I went and got like a vegetable scoop. Let's see if that works any better. Now they may be more uniform. And maybe if you were going to carry them to a party or something other, you would like the little balls. Alright, we'll give them a second to cook. And then we're going to taste these things and see how they are. Yeah, will not take but just a few minutes for those to cook. And again, this is Around the House with Kay and Tom. Hope you'll join my channel. And I just wanted to tell you again, the ingredients was 2 cups of squash and zucchini, grated up on the coarse side, 2 teaspoons full of onion, 2 teaspoons full of sugar, salt and pepper, 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons full of flour, 2 eggs, well beaten, and 2 tablespoons full of butter. And that's what you have to do this. And one good thing about having a copper shelf pan, it doesn't stick. Can you just imagine how hard it would be to clean this up if it was sticking everywhere? I shouldn't have tried to turn that one. I don't think that one was ready. I do need to go somewhere and buy me some smaller tongs. I thought we had some here, but I could not find them this morning. And I said, well, Around the House with Kay and Tom, with me doing the cooking, we use what we've got. So if whatever you got, you can always make do. They're browning up really pretty. I'm going to make some potato cakes before long, and this just made me think of it right then. That's exactly what it looks like. It's potato cakes. And again, Around the House with Kay and Tom. Please subscribe. I really enjoy doing all this stuff that I have learned how to do. I'm going to take them off of this. I put them on this paper towel. But you know what? It was no grease hardly on all of those squash cakes. There was hardly any grease at all. Okay. Now there's there's 7 of them I've got done. It made another pan, and there were 6 in the other pan. So what I'm going to do is cut one, and we're just going to see what they taste like. Well, it actually looks real good. Oh, it is really good. And again, this is Around the House with Kay and Tom. And this is squash zucchini. Excuse me. This is squash zucchini bites. And you can make them smaller, but it has really got a good flavor to it. I hope you will join my channel, Around the House with Kay and Tom, and come back to see us. Here's the finished product, Around the House with Kay and Tom. I hope you subscribe. And like I say, you can make them any size you would like to make them. You can do them the big like cakes, or you can do the little bites. But they're really, really tasty. And come back to see us.